Here we are, race fans, for the first of the 1600 races of the 2012 Formula Vee National titles, sponsored by Bottle Mart. As off the line, we've got Daniel Reynolds and Ben Porter on the front row of this race.
Okay, so that's Geordie. There's a yellow flag there. Someone stalled.
In the background, we'll catch up with that in a
yellow
second.
car.
I think that might have been Brady Tilbrook, but we'll see that in a moment.
Okay, that's Matt Stubbs there in third, Geordie Deckard fourth, Dylan Thomas, followed by Jason Cutts in Mark Williams' car, followed by Timmy Brook.
Right, these are groups A and B. The 1600 cars divided up into four groups, A, B, C and D.
Followed by Mark McHenry driving Craig Conlon's car.
Exactly, so Daniel Reynolds, the New South Wales state champion for this year, ahead of Ben Porter in the fabulous Checkmate.
Okay, actually this is a pretty good quality field here for a heat, with two-time national champions battling out the front. Stubbsy there, you got Geordie Deckard. Geordie Deckard on rolling the car out on Friday was doing 1 minute sevens, which is mate, if you're doing 1 minute sevens around Wakfield, you're doing something right, and to do it, on debut at the circuit, impressive.
Okay, so cars from all over Australia here in this event. That's Matt Stubbs, actually, not only Australia but New Zealand, in the third place saver there. Matt flies in for regular race meetings in
he lives
Australia.
Down Melbourne now.
Okay, so he's moved in as a professional racing car driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't call him professional, but he's a racing car driver. There you go. Penny Porter up the inside of Daniel Reynolds. Stubbsy comes in and has a look as well. Dylan Thomas through the inside of Geordie Deckard. That's Jason Cutts there with Timmy Brook and Craig Conlon's car with Mark McHenry behind the wheel.
Well, obviously a very large pack of cars, about 18 or 19 cars here. We'll get to see more of them as the race unfolds.
I think that's Johnny Mack there behind Mark McHenry as well.
Okay.
So, in fact, Jason Cutts is a two-time national champion as well.
That's right, 1997 and 2000 in the 1200 cars. He's in sixth place.
Oh, he's looking like going around the outside of Dylan.
That's right.
Geordie Deckard, I don't think you're going to do that.
So a number of national title winners here from the past. So great to see Jason Cutts. He's in a borrowed Jacer for the weekend, and it's probably been driven faster than it probably as fast as it ever has in its career.
Yeah, actually Jason Williamson, who's actually leasing one of the Beecham Sabres, drove that car at the V8 round not long ago.
Okay, so big pack of cars. First 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars, almost nose to tail.
Okay, and who have we got there? You've got... I'm just trying to recognise that car. There's Brady Tilbrook. So that's who stalled at the back of the grid.
That's right, you can see him going in last place there now. So
I'm trying to recognise who that green car is again. Oh,
alright.
Daggle of cars there. It looks like Benny Porter was a bit slow through turn one there.
Ben Porter in the all-conquering Checkmate won the national titles twice previously, as well as national series, as well as races at Bathurst. So, mate, this is serious stuff for the first race on the Saturday morning for the 1600s. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars almost nose to tail.
Okay, so Geordie Deckard's all over the back of Dylan Thomas. He hasn't looked down the inside. He's going. Not going to do much about that. There's no room.
Great drive by Geordie Deckard.
Okay.
And that's Dylan Thomas there in fifth place.
Okay, that's Jason Cutts and Timmy Brooks in his old LE100 doing a fantastic job. That car's for sale, by the way.
And very well priced, and as you can see, it can race in the top 5 or 10 of any race in the country. With these are the top drivers from anywhere around Australia.
Absolutely, and not only the top drivers from anywhere in Formula V, most of these guys, I mean, Benny Porter, who's currently leading this race, hopped in a radical down at Phillip Island and set a lap record down there. So has Daniel Reinhardt from Formula V. So has Ryan Simpson in production cars. Dylan Thomas from production cars set a lap record on the Saturday. The guys that run at the front of this field will run at the front of any field.
Okay, that's Mark McHenry in the blue and white car, normally driven by and owned by Craig Conlon, going up the hill. Great to have you back.
Lockie Higgins in front of him.
And great to have you back, Mark, in Formula V. And Lachlan Higgins, a top young driver from New South Wales. Probably not used to being this far back, I would say, at this point in his career.
Who's that, Mark McHenry?
No, both Mark and Lachlan Higgins, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Mark McHenry hasn't steered for a few years, so he's this weekend's almost about getting the eye back in.
Exactly.
Actually, Mark McHenry is a big person behind the Polar brand as well. Polar race cars, and they put Timmy Brook, who's actually in the back of this group here, into one of their cars a couple of years ago, and they did a fantastic job.
Alright, so nose and tail still there. Dylan Thomas with Geordie Deckard just behind him. At the front, Ben Porter in the Checkmate. Looks down the inside. Daniel Reynolds keeps his line and his speed. A slight gap now between the top three. third place Matt Stubbs just pulled it out slightly on Dylan Thomas. Dylan, the president of the Formula V
Oh,
Association.
Lockie Higgins.
There's Lachlan Higgins. We were
Plenty
just
of
talking
speed.
about him. Lachlan, keep it on the track.
He didn't get out of the throttle.
nice
Whoa!
speed
Still
stuff.
didn't get out of the throttle.
Oh, geez, it looked like he was accelerating through that grass, but no.
I suggest he was accelerating. That's why he lost the rear.
Rotationally, exactly. So,
Okay, this group sort of looks like it comes back together in the fishhook, but it's a bit of a concertina effect that'll spread out again as they come out.
all right, that was Jason Cutts, got the tail out through the left-hander at the hook with Tim Brook right on his tail.
Yeah, I suggest that Jason hasn't quite got that car exactly where he wants that just yet. Quite particular about getting the car set up right. He knows a thing or two about getting the car set up right too.
Right, with the help of his brother David, who's very fast in the 1200 class this weekend. I'm sure they will. So
I'm not sure he's getting much help from David this weekend. David's got his own things to do with the 1200 car on the weekend.
Well, then we'll see how Jason goes. So, but there he is, Jason Cutts with the orange LE100 of Tim Brook right on his tail. The car's slowly spreading out here near the front.
Okay, is that Johnny Mack all over the back?
That's Johnny McDonald in the black Mako, just gone out of camera to the left. He's right on the tail of another car.
Yeah, that's great to see. So Daniel Reynolds is in front of Benny Porter. Slight car length or two to Stubbsy, and Thomas has caught back up to Stubbsy with Geordie Deckard all over him, who pulled a couple of car lengths to Jason Cutts and Timmy Brooks all over the back of him.
Right, so for the first of 4 heat races for everyone in the 1600 class this weekend, this is serious racing, and obviously Daniel and Ben, they obviously want to win every race, even if it is a heat that might produce risks in their racing to the final. But
in qualifying, Daniel did a 1 minute 7.0. That's pretty damn quick around
that's
here.
as fast as any car's ever been around here, isn't it?
Quicker than any car's ever been. I think Daniel holds the lap record of around about a 1 minute 7.3.
Okay. So Ben Porter, the checkmate design.
Benny doesn't get through turn 1 as well as Daniel does by the look of that.
Well, Daniel, they're both very fast, of course, but the checkmate at the front, that's a one-off car built by Paul Corcoran and John Kelchick of Kelfab Engineering.
Okay, Dylan's caught up to Stubbs a little bit here and looks like pulled a car length off to Geordie Deckard, so maybe you could have a look up the inside of the fishhook. Matty goes a bit defensive there. He comes back across when he realises Dylan's not going. A bit early to be fighting if they want to try and go back to these front two, but maybe these front two have got too much pace for the next 3.
Right, and we've talked about taking risks. You can't take risks in the heats because you start the next race, you get points for each race through the heat, so if you get involved in an incident and don't get many points, that puts you way back in the next heat, and that means that you could be way back in the final. So the secret of the heats is to keep out of trouble and drive carefully.
Yeah, that's right, keep it solid.
There was a car we just sort of stranded in the pit exit there. I couldn't quite see who that was. That was a red Stinger by the look of it.
Oh, Red Stinger, that's probably David Campbell. David Campbell's been having, he's also come over from WA, so we've had 3 guys come over from Western Australia, and Dave Campbell's been having carby problems or fuel-related problems all weekend actually, so looks like it's come and bit him again. So Geordie Deckard's actually now catching up to the back of the 2 of these guys after losing a car length. Twitch!
The twitch from Matt Stubbs.
And
New
Dylan.
Zealand and Matt Stubbs, and well, that's the accordion effect, no doubt. So, but look, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Reynolds looks like he was about to have a look at the inside of the back straight there from Benny Porter, which I thought he would have waited to the straight would be the better place to do it.
Okay, I've noticed that Geordie Deckard, every time he backs off coming into that last corner, a big puff of smoke on the overrun there, so slight change in the way the rings have been set in that car, no doubt. So,
Okay, so Geordie Deckard's actually interesting story. He's probably driving a car about as old as he is. So the car's a 99 Jacer, and that probably gives you a bit of an indicator. No, it can't be that young. But anyway, he's still a young fella, young Geordie Deckard. He's in his teens and doing a fantastic job to run with these guys that have done a lot more laps around Wakfield than what he has.
Exactly, and he's got I think 6 national titles in drivers just around him on this, just in the corner.
Timmy
before,
Brooks got past 2 of those national titles.
Exactly, so that's Jason Cutts, twice winner, of course, as we mentioned before. And Jason, he's the J in Jacer. They've built over 60 Formula Vs in the last, 1997, 96 was the first car, so that's 16 years. That's a lot of Formula Vs.
Certainly is a lot of Formula V's. Matty Stubbs gets out of that final corner, not bad compared to Dylan. He doesn't get the toe early enough. Daniel gets the toe very well though and gets past Benny Porter.
Right, this race settling into the lead between Ben Porter and Daniel Reynolds.
Dylan past Stubbs, pushes him wide.
Dylan...
Geordie Decker can go as well.
There we go. That exciting driving we've come to know and love by Dylan, we've finally seen an opportunity where he can show that.
Yeah.
So Dylan in third place in this heat.
Yeah, that's it. Take the opportunities when they come.
Now, another interesting story with Dylan Thomas. Dylan is also driving the Australian Manufacturers Championship in an Evo 9 and more recently an Evo 10. So he's splitting the racing duties between that class and Formula V. And he's very high up in the championship, in the Australian Endurance Car Championship. Where is he at the moment in those placings?
He's sitting third, but the first and second are both the drivers from one car, and what he needs is the final round to come in Sandown. Sandown. The car needs to. That's the TMR, Team Mitsubishi Rally. Our car needs to have one DNF in one of the races for him to stand a chance. So
there we go. So and Dylan starred in television production.
Last lap, Benny Porter up the inside.
Okay. There it is. Benny takes the lead on the last lap. So
okay, he'll go very defensive from here. Although Daniel could do the traditional Bernie Cannon over and under. Dylan wide in third place. He throws it away.
Oh no!
He's going to go ultra defensive.
Now that is awesome driving. Goes off the track and keeps his place.
Yeah, I suggest the foot didn't come anywhere off the throttle anywhere.
Is that one of those four-wheel drive Formula V's?
Look at that, and he's pulled a gap across the top.
Or maybe the other cars are just keeping their distance. What do you think?
That might be a smart move. Daniel looking up the inside of Benny into the fish hook, but not going to do it.
Okay, and the cars in 6th and 7th place, Jason Cutts, it's just taking that position back on the last lap from Tim Brook in the LE100.
Okay, they're doing a good job here. Okay, so here comes Benny and Daniel's going to have a look up the inside into here. It'll be one of his last opportunities. No, he's not going to get him there. He's going to try and tow him down to the line.
All right,
Benny looked like he got a good exit. Dylan gets it.
Yeah, but Stubbs grabs 4th place in this race on the last corner.
Okay. Geordie Deckard.
He looks like he can't get the slipstream as they go over the line.
It's not the last lap. There's still another lap to go.
Okay.
Good. Given
they've
the
kept
bumps
racing. Maybe they're ignoring the last lap flag.
No, they're still going.
We'll see here.
Okay, so Dylan in front of Stubbs in front of Geordie Deckard. Here comes Jason in front of Timmy Brook. Where's the rest of the battle?
Jason consolidating his 6th place there ahead of Tim Brook. That's
okay.
Great driving by these first 7 drivers.
Okay, so Benny Porter looks in his mirrors and makes it difficult for Daniel to come down the inside in the fish hook. Although he gets a little twitch, Dylan's still got a bit of a margin. Well, not a margin, I wouldn't call it a margin. He's still in front of Stubbs, in front of Geordie Deckard. Okay, Benny Porter goes... No, not defensive. Oh, yes, he's defensive.
Bend to the right-hand side of the track and then back to the left. And Daniel Reynolds...
a little light lock there.
Well, Ben left a slight gap and Daniel went for it. I wonder if this is the last lap. We'll see in a moment.
Okay, here comes Stubbs. Stubbs looks like he's got the run. There's the checkered flag.
This is the last lap.
Daniel, no, Benny got him.
Yes.
And look at this, Stubbsy's probably got Dylan as well. So, and did Geordie get Dylan? I don't think so.
All right, well...
And then there's Jason Cutts looks like he got the better of the LE100 of Timmy Brook.
He certainly did.
And who's this next battle? We haven't seen much of this.
That's Jody Tilbrook there in the bright coloured car.
Okay, that looks like through. Mark McHenry.
That's the Sabre by...
Mark McHenry, followed by... there's Johnny Mack, followed by...
And the Shane Purvis Sabre that went through in about 8th place.
Yep, and there's Lee Porter, treasurer. And there's Lockie Higgins, who had the spin earlier in the race. So,
all right. So apart from one spin by Lockie, all the lead cars survived in this heat.
Sure did. Actually, some pretty good racing there. So they all did a pretty good job there. So, all right.
That's the green and black Jacer.
Okay.
So as the last...
I think that's Phil Gardner.
The last cars come through. So in the first heat, in the bottle mutt race 1 for the 1600 with groups A and B, Ben Porter in the Kelfab Engineering checkmate. Another win for that great car. Daniel Reynolds in the vintage V Dub Sabre, the reigning New South Wales State Champion. Matt Stubbs, the New Zealander from Melbourne, in the Beecham Racing Sabre. And Dylan Thomas in the CXC Team Stinger 1600 in 4th place.
5th place, Geordie Deckard in a fantastic job in the My Raid Cool Aircon. That's in a 99 Jacer. Sixth place was Jason Cutts in a Jacer. Seventh is Timmy Brook, he's also sponsored by CXC Global. And Shane Purvis comes home eighth. Great effort there by Shane Purvis. I think it's his first trip up to Wakefield as well.